Baltimore is more than crabs in the wire, and I'm here to share the real stories of the real, true talented people in the city who don't get the recognition that they deserve. Please sit back, relax, subscribe, and watch how we make the whole world want to be more like us.
Rest in peace to that dog, that man, that legend, Earl. DMX, Dogman X, you did so much for the culture, brother, while you were here. And you're a shining example of why this interview is going down, because too often we focus on what people are doing negative with their lives. And then when they pass, we talk about how much we honor them for what they accomplished in their life. The reason behind this channel is to bring love, light, and positivity to a city that's often represented, just like Earl, as whatever's negative about that particular subject matter. Just like the brother that has transitioned, it often gets his flowers when things are going right. Whether that's the Ravens winning, the Orioles winning, which would be incredible, right? Right now, or winning on a high level, or if the Crabs are good and then stop, right? But the reality is, typically we're hearing about crime rates, STDs, failing educational systems, and things like that. If you don't know by now, it's your boy CEO Be Easy, here at Bmore Like Us, 410 TV, and it's time for my interview. My interview about what made me do this channel, a little bit about who I am, my plans on where I'm going, things I might have overcame, and the only thing I want from this interview is to inspire you to be the best version of you. I was born and raised in West Baltimore, Maryland. And before we go any further, since I got your attention at this point, be sure to click and subscribe right here, right? So you won't miss any of the dope interviews that pretty much won't ever be about me and more about the people who've been on this channel. Just like shout out to Larry Spriggs, who was just on the channel last week, speaking behalf on being a black wheel company owner. His brother owns a wheel, a rim, owns it. I think it's maybe 2 African Americans, maybe 3 in the country that I'm aware of that own their own wheel. So if you like that, be sure to look at the description below and check out Larry's interview from last week. But I, Courtney Randall Jr., born and raised West Baltimore, Liberty Heights and Garrison, was blessed to be raised by my grandmama, Miss Barbara, or Miss B, as you might call her, and my aunt Adrian, as well as my grandfather, Mr. Lou, and other various family members who, made sure I was good. But those were some of the most pivotal people in me becoming the person I am. Growing up around Liberty Heights and Garrison, I seen a lot of good times. I seen hooping in the summer, and when it was cold, I seen people jumping into the pool at 64 rack at Liberty Rack. I don't want to go on camera and say what they were doing, but they were definitely enjoying the summer weather. I heard dirt bikes. I've seen pedal bike riding back. Now I think that's a resurgence of that after everything that's going on in the world. But I'm talking about when gas prices were 99 cents for regular gas, all the way up until when they were almost $4, like we were in Cali or something, all the way back down to now. I've seen it all. I've seen Amco become BP. I've just experienced a lot living in West Baltimore, from Walgreens and Rite Aid to Supreme Oasis and the removal of Supreme Oasis. And just so many things, man, that happened. But being from Baltimore City, I've definitely struggled, okay? A lot of it's my fault, though. Too often we like to associate our struggles with our upbringing, when in all actuality, I had a great upbringing. My family did the best they could do to give me the best that they could, and I really didn't want for much other than my parents. Now my parents, unfortunately, could not raise me, and I found out later in life why, but they still love me. I was able to heal past that, and we have a pretty decent relationship for the last 5 or 6 years, and I'm thankful for that. And I think that's the first message I want to send home about overcoming adversity. You gotta learn how to let go. Somebody hurts you, or somebody doesn't do things the way that you want, it hurts you more to hold on to that anger. Sometimes you gotta just let it go, and letting that anger go can sometimes develop a different type of relationship even though it wasn't a relationship that you may have wanted with that particular individual. Um, Also, I've done a lot of stunting, renting rims, fake jewelry, being in club, throwing my rent money. I mean, you name it, all the stuff that comes with being a young adult, trying to live the social norms of what it feels like to be successful and from the hood. Um, when I look back on it, some people may say I'm a clown. I don't really care. I mean, your opinion is your opinion, but I know I lived a great life thus far, and God has taken me to different places. And everything that I have done, whether I'm happy about it or upset about it, whatever like that, it has definitely formed the person I am. And I'm still growing, still learning, still making mistakes. But the most beautiful part about making all these different mistakes, from stunting to poor choices to being angry at people who left your life, and I mean the list goes on and on about all the negative things I could talk about, about my life. The reality is, what helped me overcome it, or was helping me overcome it, is therapy, prayer, a solid foundation, having good women in your life, kids, and everything like that. And I'll say this to any guy out there, and we need to have more conversations like this. Like, let's be cognizant of what we do um, to our own Black women. Definitely have fell short multiple times. Even being raised by Black women, I fell short multiple times on the respect level when it comes to women, the decision making processes I've done, the way I've carried things, and it's all cool amongst people who think it's cool. But as you grow and you get older and you learn from your mistakes, you realize that you can be very narcissistic and damaging women, and especially scary when you have daughters. You know what I'm saying? So I could sit up here and finger point at some of my bad relationships, but I'd rather take a look at myself as a man and think about some of the decisions I made and what I want my daughter to marry me, and make the proper adjustments in my life. And same thing with women, but I'm just talking to my guys out here because typically it's like glorified to do certain things with women and things like that, when in reality, you're just really damaging them for the next person if you're not ready. And Black women, let's try to, encourage our Black men, be more supportive, try to break those generational curses of, I know you're used to doing it by yourself a lot, but there's a lot of men out here that want to help you guys, want to build with you, and talking to them like a child and all that stuff like that, that really doesn't help. Um, let's just start healing. Therapy was a huge part to me, and I still made mistakes in therapy, trust me. But definitely just being brave enough to get a therapist and talk about my problems and my past mistakes, it really enabled me to grow as a person. People often just want to skip over all the things I just talked about and talk about success, or what your ideas of success are. So let's talk about it briefly, because I really don't want to make this a show off contest or accolade contest. Be Easy Clothing was started in 2005. It was co-created by me, Clayton O'Cheese, Tyrell Bird. So Be Easy is actually an acronym: Bird, Eric, and Cheese with a Z. Um, we were some young adults with a dream. Over the years, they backed out of the deal, but they always supported me, still do to this day. And let's just say, for all the things I've done, which is creating a clothing line that has sold over 20,000 items independently, I've also had items that didn't sell one thing. I've had items, my first items, you put them in a washing machine, they will fall apart. But the reality is, it reminds me of something Nas said: at least I tried. And I just want you to understand that we're creating a business. It took years, and August will be 16 years I've been in business to get Be Easy to where it's at now. And it's still challenging. It's still people that won't wear it because of things I did back in my young adult life, like I was referring to with the stunting and the bad behavior, or whatever I affected them negatively. I went on to then create a credit company. I learned a lot from a prior credit company, and I was blessed to be in a position to start my own. And it's not just a credit company; it's a financial services company. KXK Financial was named after my kids, Courtney Xavier Carter, and All that's geared around teaching and spreading financial wellness. What is credit? What is business credit? Learning the games. We talk about gentrification and all this stuff, but we can't buy something if we don't have the proper finances or the proper credit and things like that. So rather than talk about the problems, I created a system to help with the problems. I also created Be More Soulful Incorporated, which is a nonprofit with the state of Maryland, non-stock. It's not a 501c3 yet, but I'm working on that this year. But I've been blessed to give out almost 15,000 pair of shoes in 3 years for free, through donations, whether that be people. Well, let's explain the concept of Be More Soulful so people can understand that we're some of the flyest people in the world when it comes to fashion, hands down. I mean, Ye became a billionaire off his shoes, right? We take our shoes that we spend hundreds of dollars on, $100, $200, $300, and after we can't fit them anymore because we outgrow them or we're tired, we dug them or we ran them, whatever, we give them to Goodwill or throw them away. All the time. Goodwill turns around and sells them back for a profit, maybe 1/4 of what you paid for them, at 100% profit because you gave it to them for free, right? And most of y'all don't itemize your deductions to get your taxes off of it, so you're pretty much giving it to them for free. I just say that to say I thought about, oh, I could be rich. I need to be rich to give back to the youth. No, I don't. No, I don't. I just had to think about something outside of myself and not make excuses about helping the youth and the people in the city. So Be More Soulful literally is a place where you can come and bring in your old shoes. You can clean them and get them restored or change the color on them. They give them back to you, and that money goes into the bank to buy new shoes and materials for the projects that we do. Or you can give us your old shoes, boots, whatever. We clean them up, put them in storage, and then we give them out, as necessary. Of course, with all the things going on in the world and all these sicknesses, it's been a little bit more difficult. But on May the 1st, I'm relaunching that after taking 4 to 5 months off because it's needed. People need us right now. Everybody's not doing good right now. Everybody's not getting stimuluses. Everybody's not getting their taxes back. Everybody hasn't got employment. Some people haven't returned to full employment. So let's think about somebody outside of ourselves, for a change. What would I say to these kids? I know how it feels to want your parents there and they're not. And through research, I've discovered that a lot of kids change after divorces, breakups, and things like that. So the only thing I can say is two-part fold. To the adults, try your best to make it work. Learn about your issues, get therapy, work through them, take accountability, and try to make it work for the sake of not only the kids, but for yourself, because it has a trickle-down effect. To the kids that are listening, be the best version of you no matter what isn't going your way. I never used the excuse of me not having my parents in the way that I wanted my parents to not be on the dean's list. I've been valedictorian. I've been on honor roll. I've been on honor roll all school from elementary all the way through 12th grade, even in college. Shout out to Granville T. Wood Scholarship. I never finished college. I was on a full ride to college. Through the help of, God rest her soul, Miss Crystal Bowie, who fought for me to be in college. And she was not playing. She was like, boy, I don't care if I got to give you a laptop. You come into college. And believe it or not, I think I'm actually going to finish out my degree because it's not no longer for my parents or anybody else. It's just so can't nobody take nothing away from me. I got my own accolades and things like that. So you're hearing it first right here. Think your boy going to go ahead and get that degree for me. Just so can't nobody take nothing away from me. But yeah, kids, just never stop. I know we know where we're from, right? We know what we face, and every generation gets a little worse because they have to grow up a little faster. But never let that stop you. Never let them put you in a box. Never let your mistakes, the things you do, the people you affect put you in a box. But be aware that the things that you do and the way that you move can change how people support your business and you. You can definitely run off business and lose a lot of good people by lying, not being real, fabricating stories and all that stuff. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. Be proud to be you, whether you have a disability or you don't. No matter if they tell you you're not going to do it, you can do whatever you put your mind to. Real story, I had asthma to the point where I was on a nebulizer and an inhaler pretty much all the way up, almost up to 10 years old. And the doctors told me I would never play sports. I would never play sports. I had that bad of asthma to the point I was in a hospital sometime when I was 4 or 5 years old. But boy, I got a praying grandmother. Still to this day, I love my grandmother, man. And she never gave up on me. And man, I went on to play every sport, and I only play sports, bring home trophies. Matter of fact, I haven't had an asthma attack in over 30 years, and I'm 36. So that's just a true testament to being yourself. In the next 5 years, I see Baltimore growing into like a mega city. Why? Look around you. Look at Pennsylvania Avenue. Look right across from Mondawmin Mall. Look at what they're building. Look how they're doing it. You think they're going to do all that for nothing? The question is, are you guys going to be a part of the building process or just a part of the looking process? Next time you say, hey, I can't pay a bill, look at your shoe collection. Next time you say, hey, I'm struggling with my bills, look at how many times you went out this year. I still have to say, I plan on being in Baltimore for a while, and even if God moves me to a different location, I'm always going to be here in some kind of way. Bmore Like Us was created for the city, about the city, because the whole world needs to know how dope our city is. So when you say in this interview and you go back and run it back, just know I'm a man flawed. There's a lot of people that can whisper in the dark about the things I've done. There's a lot of people that can confirm things that I've done. There's people that I've hurt. But I've also helped a lot of people. Done a lot of good things. I ain't about to name all of them. I just know that my humanitarian awards far leap past any fashion awards, any vehicles I've owned, any shoes I've rocked, any clubs I've stepped foot in, any people I've shook hands with. We do too much for clout. And it's just time to bring back real. Let's normalize being ourselves and growing and letting people say whatever they gotta say and then blowing everything they gotta say out the water by accomplishing things that they never thought you could imagine. Best form of revenge is just being yourself and being successful. And for everything they told you would never be, become it. And when you do it 3 times bigger. You know my social media. If you're looking for more information, if you like these type of interviews, not from me, but from the people on here, and do me a favor, please go back and watch all these interviews. Even if mine has the most views or the least amount of views, I'm going to use my video to let you know that this isn't about me. I spent my whole life making things about me. Blaming people, getting angry, trying to act like I'm perfect. We ain't doing that no more. We taking self-accountability and we're using our platforms to spread love and bring light to new people. So like I said, if you like what's going on, if you like transparency, if you want to see dope content, if you want to see young entrepreneurs, older entrepreneurs, if you're an entrepreneur, here's your chance. Holler at me. Send me an email. BMoreLikeUs410@gmail. Tell us your story. You may end up in front of the camera because this is all about you. I love y'all. Let's do this for the city. And do me something for free. I ain't worried about selling no shirts. I ain't worried about if you sign up for credit. I ain't worried about if you give me free kicks. Just click the share button and let this be an inspiration to somebody else, even if it's not you.